Okay, so hi there. I'll start the class. This is actually officially the first class for the 8-8 course. I already assigned everything as I showed the previous class. I started the next one because, actually we were not in class. You joined just for some minutes, then you left, so I couldn't practice. Again, the main idea of the class is showing information, but not only that, because actually the main idea is practicing all those contents with examples, with details that sometimes we know, but there's always room for improving, even when we want to go to a higher level. Okay, so let's do the following. I'm just going to show once again, we should join this. I'm not here with you. I'm going to share this to WhatsApp, I believe, to send you the link to join the new course. But today, officially starting this, we have to join the A8 Intermediate because this is our course now. And again, right, everything is set on Pearson so that you can begin working on. Everything is there, even the due date. But if I'm not wrong, you have until August the 7th to finish everything, okay? Monday the 7th. But anyways, again, to start with this, as always, you have 4 units, right? I showed this, I believe, in a certain way, and you already have all the lessons with the presentations that you need per each unit. I'm just going to now recap briefly the first lesson. Okay, let's wait a little bit. Okay, that if you remember were stative verbs or non-action verbs. We know that we have two types of verbs, right? Action verbs and non-action verbs. The non-action verbs are also called stative verbs. And stative verbs are not used in continuous tenses. They are never used in continuous tenses. The verbs that are stative can be also action verbs, but it's not that stative are used as action verbs. No, it's that the verb can have a stative meaning and an action meaning. Okay, that's important to clarify over there. The four main categories are these ones, right? Thoughts and opinions, feelings and emotions, senses and perceptions, possession and measurement. Those are the main categories for stative verbs, and we have to use them in simple tenses. But we also learned that, or better said, right, we reinforced the knowledge that we had, and we know that some verbs, as be or have in this case, they have a stative meaning and an action meaning. All right, same have stative meaning, action meaning. All right, it means that depending on the meaning that you use for this verb, it can be action or non-action. That's very important to know. The same with see, with look, with smell, taste, think, feel, and finally with weight and measure. Okay, that's again just as a very, very quick review of the things we have to remember. Now, I'll start directly with the second lesson. Today, again, as I have to keep working on with these contents, I'll cover 2 up to 3. We'll see, yes, perhaps even 3. No, actually, no. I'm thinking that this is the second day. No, this is the first day. I'm going to try to cover just 2. Okay, why? Because we're supposed to have 2 classes to cover 1 unit. In 1 unit, we have 3 lessons. So we have today and Monday to cover 3 lessons, but I'm going to finish the first 3 lessons today. On Monday, I will start with unit number 2, but if you're not there also, I'm going to cover them also. I'm also going to be covering something in advance. But if I have too much, right, over there, again, I have to use that time to practice with you. I'm going to try to use it to show you extra contents. If I finish all the contents that we have then for Pearson, I'm going to start developing other contents that you can find interesting. Okay, but first I have to focus on Pearson. Let's then begin. Models of request. Okay, so we use models of request, and we know that models are these words that are preceded or preceding, right, the main verb, and they can be used for ability, they can be used for obligation, for permission, for recommendations, right? In this case, we're going to use them for requests, but also for offering and invitations and other details. So can, will, could, and would. All right, they are used to ask for things, also to make offers, to invite people, and to order in a restaurant. Okay, that's important. This is not always the case, but in most of the cases, can and will are going to be not that formal. Okay, they can be informal or less formal. Could and would are going to be more formal, and sometimes for a proposal, will can be very formal. Only in very specific cases, and mainly one that I have in mind. The rest of them are going to follow these two elements over here. Less formal, can, will, more formal, could and would. Okay, let's take that into account. We know the formulas. We always use the base form with models, right? I can go, I should stay, they will go, always base verb after the model. Now, the first category, right? Making requests. To make a request is to ask someone so that that person can do something for us, right? For example, will you pass me the salt? I'm asking that person if it's possible that he or she passes me the salt. All right, so again, we use models of request when we ask someone to do something or when we want something in general. Once again, so it says, right, will you pass me the salt? If we put please after the subject, right, or at the end of the sentence to make it can make the request, right, more polite. It's always interesting and important, I believe, to use that word, right? Please at the beginning can be sometimes, all right, it's not mentioned in here, but it can be at the beginning, in between the modal and the verb, or at the end, right? But actually in these cases, we don't have that in the affirmative order. This is a question, so it's going to be in between the subject and the verb in this case. All right, not the modal. Could you please open the door? Can you wait for a moment, please? All right, that's the logic again of placing that, and of course, it always makes it more polite. Okay, we put not before, all right, that word not before the verb for negative requests. It means this, all right? Would you please not smoke? Okay, not smoke is going to ask for something in a negative way. Can you not use your phone in the library? Okay, so we have all those examples, and if we remember the chart that we got, we know that will and can are less formal, and could and would are more formal. Okay, let's take that into account. Now, in this case, we're still working with this. Only what happens in the response that we can get. This is interesting. We usually answer requests with can, will, and can't, right? Or answer yes, request is good. We generally don't use could or would in short answers, right? We don't use those two. Why? Because the meaning that they give is different. They give the idea of not wanting something or making believe the other person that it's impossible. That's why we don't use would and could in negative responses or in responses in general. Okay, so let's read with all of them. Can you please come inside? Will you please come inside? Could you please come inside? Would you please come inside? All of them are correct. Okay, it's very cold out there. You can reply, yes, I can, yes, I will, or no, I can't. But, all right, it's not possible to say, no, I couldn't. Yes, I could. Yes, I would. Or no, I wouldn't. Okay, because again, the meaning that they give is different from this context. So we have to use only these three words: can, will in affirmative, can't in negative. Okay, that's very important. Also, we don't say won't, right? We don't use will in negative because again, the idea that it gives It's not just saying I can't, right? Because it's not possible for me. It's like I don't want, I won't do it. It shows something stronger, that it gives the idea of something impolite or even being angry. I know I won't. Okay, so again, just avoid those words and use can, will in affirmative and can't in negative. Then the second category is offers. Here we use mainly to, can and could. We can also use would, but only when it's in combination with like. And you know that's for preference in a certain way. Okay, only in that case. If not, it's not going to work. Okay, so we use can and could when we offer to do things. Can I help you? Mm-hmm. Could we get you something to eat? That's essential, all right? That's basic. Can I help you is offering something that we can do for someone else. Here, differently to requests, right? Of course, we are offering ourselves sometimes or something else that we are going to give to someone else. Not that someone else is going to give us, not that someone else is going to do for us. No, right? We can also make offers by asking what someone would like, right? For instance, would you like a soft drink? In that case, you're still offering something. That's why it is valid. Okay, that was the second category. We go to the third one. Okay, so here we have invitations. We use can, will, could, and would like. The four of them, one more time, would like, or sometimes separated, right? Only would. And this is to invite. This is different. This is the third category. We have requests, we have offers, now we have invitations. Can you come to my house for dinner? Right? Invitation. Will you come to the dance with me? Invitation. Could you celebrate Chinese New Year with us? Would you celebrate Chinese New Year with us? Or would you like to celebrate? That's even better for invitation. That's why would like is always a better idea here. Okay? Or in the last part, would you like to go to the cinema? That's also correct and valid. And all of them, once again, are invitations. The last one for this lesson, okay, we're about to finish this lesson. Again, the main idea here is practicing, but this knowledge, if it's clear, then it is good. We can use I'll have or I will have when ordering food or drinks in a restaurant. I'll have a bowl of chicken soup. I'd like or I would like, right? It's another way to order food or drinks. I'd like sausages and eggs. I'd like a cup of coffee, please. All right. In all these cases, we are stating something that we want to order in a restaurant. Okay. And with that, we are done. We have something extra, but we're going to recap what we got. Requests, with the four of them, right? You are asking someone to do something for you. Answering those requests in affirmative, can and will, in negative, only can't. Okay? In offers, the two best ways is using, is using can and could. You can also use would like, but only those two or maximum those three. Can I help you? Could we get you something to eat? And would you like something? Then invitations, it is also with the four of them, would separately or in combination with like. Okay, and finally, this is used as a statement. Because if you are ordering in a restaurant, of course, you're asking for something. So I'll have this and that, or I'd like this and that. So will and would like are the two that we use in a restaurant. Now, finally, we got something extra, a different way to ask for something. All right. For example, do you mind if I join you? I'm asking if this action is not going to bother another person, right? I'm asking if this is not going to be annoying. for another person? Do you mind if I join you? Do you mind if I open the window? Do you mind if I close the door? So I want to know if this action, once again, is not going to affect negatively the other person, right, or the other group of people that is there with me. Do you is one way, and would you is another way that actually is going to be kind of formal, very formal. Would you mind if, okay, I joined you? The same logic, all right, the same purpose as the first one, but it's more formal. All right, and a negative answer to these questions is always going to be good, because you're saying, no, it's not annoying for me, it's not something that is affecting negatively, so yes, you can do it, right? So a negative response means something positive in that case. You have one more, that is the one down below, right? That is with gerund. Would you mind join me? Would you mind doing this for me? So in this case, I'm asking, right, for something to someone. Would you mind doing this? Would you mind opening the window? Would you mind calling me later? And so on and so forth. And you have extra elements to practice. With that, we finish the first lesson. We go to the next one. Okay, let's open it. Okay, so this is the second and the final lesson for today, because of the reasons I explained. So and such. We have first these four ideas. She's so beautiful. They are so smart. It is such a beautiful day. He's such a gentleman. Okay. Now, if we analyze the differences between these expressions, so beautiful, so smart, we have two adjectives over there. Such a beautiful day, such a gentleman. We have one adjective as right over there, but we are mainly talking about, in the case of such, we're talking about nouns, they and gentlemen, right? They and gentlemen are nouns. So with adjectives, such with nouns. But we're going to see that, of course, we have variations, and we can use them with many other words. But these are the main two things that we have to take into account. So in the explanation, right, we use so and such to intensify, so they are intensifiers, to intensify adjectives, adverbs, and nouns. Okay, the three of them. But of course, we have some characteristics to take into account. So For instance, the main usage of so as an intensifier is to intensify adjectives or adverbs because it makes them stronger. It's so hot today. Okay, it's intensifying the idea of hot. It's so hot, not only hot, but so hot. She looks so young, not only young, but so young in that photo, right? We are making that idea stronger. He walks so slowly. It's so annoying. Okay, in the cases of adjectives in green and adverbs in purple that we have one, we are describing that word, and more than describing, actually, no, we are modifying it, we're making it stronger. We are intensifying the effect that the word has in the sentence. Okay? Now, we can also use so with nouns, but only when it is combined with many for countable nouns and with much for uncountable nouns. Okay? The yellow one, right, is countable. People is plural. We can count people. And uncountable, right, we got it that in a kind of green that is down below. And it's something that, of course, we cannot count. It can be an abstract idea. In this case, time is because it is an abstract idea. So many, so much. There were so many people there. Okay, there were so many people there. We're talking about again that detail. We're referring to intensifying the idea of the number of people that were there. And we had so much time left. We're intensifying the idea of the amount of time that it was left. Okay, again, we are intensifying in this case nouns, countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, now similarly to the previous one, sorry, instead of so much, we can use so little. That is for the opposite idea, a small quantity. And instead of so many, we have so few. That is the same, the opposite. Instead of a big number, we have a small number of something. Okay, so people for uncountable, so little for so few for countable, so little for uncountable. And we have the same examples. There were so few people there. We had so little time left. Okay, so again, we're intensifying the idea of something in a very small quantity or number in this case. Okay, now such, that was so. Once again, a short recap. Usually it is used just like that with adjectives or adverbs. Okay, so hot, so young, so slowly. We can use them, or we can use it, sorry, with nouns to show big quantity. We have so many and so much. It depends if it's countable or uncountable. And we have so few and so little, also depending on the same aspects, right? Being countable or uncountable. Now, such, right? It is used with nouns. But it's very likely that you will see that in combination with an adjective. But such is not because of the adjective. Such is used because of the noun. The first one is the best example. You're such an angel. Okay, I'm intensifying the idea of this person being an angel and why I believe, right, he or she is one. But again, the idea is intensifying, and the main idea even is to see that this is used with nouns and not with adjectives directly. Here, for example, you cannot say number 2, the second example, it's such a hot, right? Today. Such a hot? No. You can say it's so hot today, yes. But if you want to say they, you don't say it's so hot day today. No. Again, then the two are incorrect, right? Is such a hot? Incorrect. Is so hot day? Incorrect. The correct one is so hot today? Yes. Or is such a hot day today? Correct. Right? So requires the adjective, but such requires a noun. So one more time, is such a hot day today? Or even in plural, they are such lovely boys. I love them. Okay, in the two cases, we are using such not because of hot or lovely. No, we are using such because of they and because of boys. All right. Now, a very important thing with these two elements is that we can use this combination, and this is pretty common. Is so something that the result. Okay, we often use these so and such structures with that, okay, and a clause that say what the result is. For instance, it was so cold that the water in the lake froze. So that was the result of that intensity of cold. Okay, it was so cold that this is the consequence. He was such a good teacher that we all passed the exam. Okay, he was such a good teacher that we all passed the exam. Once again, such a good teacher, the result of that is that we all passed the exam. There's so much noise that what's the result of that much noise? That I can't think, right? There's so much noise that I can think. And that's it. These are the results that we can use in combination with the two ideas. A short review with such, because such is just this, is very simple. You use such with nouns, always with nouns. There can be adjectives combined with the nouns, but not only adjectives, because it's not possible to use such with adjectives. We need nouns, right? Then we can talk about results in the case of so plus adjective or such plus noun. In the case you have to use that. It was so something that this is the result. It was such a something that this is the result. Okay, so that's it. Again, as always, if you go into the presentations that we got, you always have extra links to practice. Okay, I'm going to be finishing the class over here. Remember, please, one more time, that this being the first class, I already assigned everything. You can be working on Pearson, but once again, be careful. I don't know if it's possible to just watch the classes, because the classes are supposed, right, to be live and with the student over here to practice, because I cannot ensure, all right, anybody, I cannot ensure management, I cannot ensure the program that we are learning just because of the scores in the platform. All right, because remember, it's different just to practice in the platform than to practice in examples here, or to listen to your pronunciation, to listen to all those details, to again make some corrections, to give some feedback. It's always something different. All right, take that into account, please. Right now, I'm going to finish the class. Well, I'll see you hopefully on Monday, right? Because yes, we have this on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Then I'll see you on Monday to continue practicing. All right. Well, see you then.